Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the
Zach
And Lex
Talk
Talk
Stuff
Stuff
podcast.
podcast. I think we're getting it.
Hopefully, I guess we'll find out when the edit comes out.
Yeah, yeah. We should have like a grade on for like the episode, like every episode. I think because Jack is one of our most frequent listeners, we should just have him grade our
Ooh,
syncing.
you know what we should do is get two videos of him doing this or this, and then we put it in as a little grading system here.
Yeah. Well, we should when he goes off and onto his honeymoon, we should just have like a bunch of episodes release every like for his honeymoon. That way he's like, well, Marissa's not here, and I'm just chilling in whatever place we're at. I guess I'll just listen to Zach and Lex.
We'll go that way we can be there with them.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. We
What's
love you.
more romantic than the sound of our voices?
So on today's episode of the podcast, we wanted to do a little mini review and discussion of the hit movie Obsession. You know, this is a
Yeah.
movie. This is a movie that came out, a couple months ago, so we know we're a little late to the party, but it's still so relevant that I think it's still worth talking about. And before we go any further, Zach and I both wanted to give a little bit of a warning that we're going to be touching into some darker topics and stuff that may possibly be triggering for uh, people, regarding sexual assault and these darker themes. So we just wanted to let you know in advance before we go any more forward. And there is Luna in the corner.
If you see Luna in the background, that's a trigger warning. Just keep that in mind. Are you sitting in and joining us?
I guess she is. I'll take it.
Hey, we've got a live listener. I think that's the first.
Oh, wow. So,
But yeah, we wanted to take a moment to just give a little warning, trigger warning for multiple different aspects of brutal things like assault and violence and gore and yeah, just
mhm,
yeah, keep that in mind moving forward.
absolutely. So, before we. So, I have to ask with Obsession, did you go see the movie because it was popular at the time, or did you go see the movie because you were like, I don't know what this is? Because I'm always curious with like, because I think it's fair to say that this is now a more culturally relevant
Yes.
movie, and a lot of people have watched it due to word of mouth.
Yeah.
So have you? So where? So how did you get roped into it? Because I got roped into it because of everyone talking about it and you talking about it. So I was just curious.
So it was actually the latter. I had seen the trailer when going to another movie, I think, or seeing it somewhere, maybe YouTube or something. I didn't know who was behind it, but it hadn't really piqued my interest much. I maybe saw the
Mm-hmm.
trailer once, and it just kind of left my mind. Um, but my girlfriend had posed the idea of a movie date, and she had brought up that movie and asked if I was interested in checking out. And I was like, yeah, yeah, absolutely. She had said that I think it was maybe the week or the week after it had came out, and it was getting some pretty good reviews. So we went to see it. I was going in blind, really, because all I had seen was that trailer one time. But I loved it ever since seeing the movie.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So you were on the ground floor when that was all happening. So that's pretty cool.
I wouldn't say ground floor, but I went in with blinders on, you know,
Yeah,
a
I
little
call that.
oblivious to the situation.
Yeah, I think that's cool. It's very rare that you go and see a movie without like the cultural relevance. You either need to be like a kid
Mm.
or just not paying attention to that stuff.
Well,
And
it's so
it,
difficult nowadays too because like the moment the movie comes out, even at like a midnight release the day before, you know, it's all over social media. That's what happened to like the Force Awakens with Han Solo, stuff like that. It's like it's difficult to go to movies without immediately knowing everything about it. You know,
mhm.
everything becomes a trend, or you know, everyone's talking about it. I remember I was in the movie theater watching it, and I'm like, "Is that the guy from the negative tip skit on YouTube?" Like, and then when I found out who made it, I was like, you know, shout out
Yeah.
to Curry Barker, and I'm an asshole here. One moment. Curry.
His name is Cooper Tomlinson,
Yes.
and they do. This is a bad idea.
Yes. That's what I was trying to remember. But yeah, they are hilarious, and I'm incredibly excited about their next project. Have you heard about it at all?
Um, it doesn't it have like a star-studded cast?
The only star I've heard of it heard of being in the movie, and you're going to be excited about this, is Aaron Paul.
Oh yeah, oh, so that's the one. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's for those who
That's
don't know, it is a movie based around paranormal investigators, quote unquote, who are fakers, big fakers, and they do all this extra stuff to make it super believable for the camera and for the live audience
mhm.
until they come across a real paranormal situation and they have to deal with it. So I'm incredibly excited about that, and it's supposed to take place in the same universe as Obsession. It's been teased that sometime in the movie they'll talk about this. One of the characters we'll talk about later, but something what happens after the end of the movie.
Interesting. Huh. It's kind of cool. He's Curry Barker has his own cinematic universe.
They're gonna have a post credit scene. We're putting a team together, you know.
That'd be messed up. I mean, who knows? Uh, Aaron Paul goes to jail, meets Nikki.
When they start making meth.
mm. Yo, Nikki, I don't know if we could do that, man. Um, yeah, bitch. Don't call me a bitch. So Obsession. I think this is a really, really good movie. I think that this is a movie that I didn't expect to like as much as I did. I think because I think it balances horror, a lot of real world themes of, as we talked about, like assault and violence, and and even balances out humor in a way where I don't interpret the humor as laughing at the subject in a poor way, but as something to break the tension of we know what's going on. It's just it's a little ridiculous as it's going on. So for me, it doesn't undermine the
Mm,
themes of the movie. Like the movie doesn't lose itself for me.
no, no, I agree with you. I think so far this might be my favorite movie of the year so far. We'll see
You
how the
still haven't
year
seen you still haven't seen Project Hail Mary.
was that 2026 or 2025.
2026 was
Okay,
Project Hail Mary.
I'll rephrase this. This might be my favorite horror movie of 2026. We
Hmm.
shall see. I loved it. It's one of those movies where it's not like stereotypical jump scares, and it's not, all that, I don't know, like stereotypical stuff you see in a Blumhouse film usually. I remember when we were going to see the movie and then Blumhouse pops up and like, oh God, no, please. But
Yeah.
um, it's one of those horror movies where it's not, there are jump scares, but it's not like a, ooh, that's scary, I jump in my seat. It's more of a cringe, like, oh, I don't like that, I don't like that, I don't like that. You're just uncomfortable. You don't know how to react or feel about it. And I think that
Mhm.
was incredibly brilliant, especially with the avoiding overused tropes nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. I think that it's a concept that seems familiar because I think Supernatural even did an episode on this.
Yeah.
I think, it was with Ted Raimi,
Yep.
Sam Raimi's brother. Yeah, I
That, and
remember
I
that
mean,
episode.
it harks back to the original story of the monkey paw, too, Be
Yeah.
careful what you wish for.
hmm So yeah, it's an original. It's a concept that we are familiar with. We've seen in different versions, but never seen a take on this.
Mm.
So, though the movie may not be 1000% original, I think its take is something that we have not seen before. And that is always appreciated because it's hard to make something 1000% original without outside.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
no such thing
you know.
as fully original stuff, but anything is better, even poorly made original stuff is better than AI, folks.
I agree, absolutely. But so, yeah, plot of the movie is this guy named Bear, which I'm like, is his name really Bear, or is that just what people call him? I don't know.
I really like the little things that they play around with the name.
hmm
With the fact that it can be taken multiple ways, where it's like bear, man, or the bear, that question posed, or the fact that later in the movie, as his more controlling tendencies have come out, his full name is revealed to be Baron, which is a very controlling, very, I don't know, like, look at me, I'm in charge here kind of name.
Hmm. I did not
Whiny
know.
man baby.
I did not know that's what Baron meant. That's interesting.
I don't know. I mean, let me look up the official definition. Warrior, nobleman, freeman. It is a British, French, and Old Germanic rooted name, which is usually hierarchy, controlling.
Oh, it's British for hierarchy and controlling. Okay.
British, French, and Germanic. But yeah,
Ah,
yeah. It's got roots in, like, I don't know, someone who seeks power
okay.
or to be controlling.
Mm. Which leads to, like Bear, he has this crush on his friend Nikki, and Nikki, uh, she's a starving writer. She's friends with that Ian and oh my God, what's her name? Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
They're all friends. They work together, everything like that. And
Which I will say, they are not good friends to each other at all.
no, they are a very weird friend group.
I mean,
It's a
even just like that first interaction tipped me off as like, okay, what's you're really giving your friend that advice? The beginning of the movie where Bear is kind of pouring out his emotions. So you think, as a viewer, you're just seeing Bear. You think he's actually pouring out these emotions to Nikki, but it's just to is it Sarah in the beginning? No, it's a waitress.
no, yeah, it's someone
Yeah.
else.
And so he's pouring out these emotions, and then he's being more truthful, and it's not fully not creepy, but it's more innocent than the rest of the movie, obviously.
Yeah.
And then the first thing that Ian does is tell him that's disgusting, that he should neg Nikki, and that he should keep those emotions away. That's that. No.
Yeah. Yeah, it really sounded like sabotage. It
Oh
sounded
yeah,
like that
especially
from the beginning.
yeah.
And I was like, there's no way that, like, either you are oblivious or you are purposely doing it. Which later it's kind of discovered he kind of was sabotaging.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, Bear really wants Nikki to like him, to love him. And, he gets this one wish willow, and he makes a wish saying,
But before we do that, should we uh, put some additional context into the situation as well?
Yeah, I just wanted to give like a quick little summary of
Oh, gotcha.
what the plot is of just, Bear wants Nikki to love him, and so he gets this one wish willow, makes a wish of, I want Nikki to love me. And the wish happens.
More than anything
She
in the fucking world.
Yeah, more than anything in the fucking world. That she falls head over heels for him. And as the movie goes on, even though they're together, stuff feels very off. Weird stuff keeps happening, and he keeps discovering more and more, and it just gets worse and crazier from there.
Yeah. After that the context in the beginning that I was just referencing, like, and I'm what's it called? I'm trying to figure out how to best convey this, because obviously spoiler warnings for everything. If you haven't seen the movie and don't want it spoiled, stop here, go watch the movie, and then come back. But after that conversation in the diner is over, Bear goes back to his apartment, his house, and finds his cat has passed. And it looks like the cat got into prescription medication or antidepressants. And I mean, anyone who has gotten a prescription before knows that there's a child lock on top of those bottles. I don't think it's likely the cat got the cap off. And it's just that first little like nod that Bear is a very immature and I don't know what's a better word for it.
Irresponsible.
Yes, very. Just leaving his medication out like that for his cat to get into.
Yeah.
And then later when they're supposed to do trivia that night, the whole friend group, and even when after he's been crying about his cat passing, he gets a call from Nikki who's trying to get him to go out, and rather than just tell the truth that his cat passed or explain the situation, he decides to just hide that and just
I know.
go out. Also, I gotta say, this man's food taste is a little off to me as well. In the diner in the morning, he is drinking a strawberry milkshake, and then I believe all that we see him eat at the bar for trivia is onion rings and a pina colada. This man's breath must be atrocious.
I mean, maybe it's just like a light snack. He doesn't eat a lot. I don't know. But I think for me, that should have been the first clue of like, oh, Bear doesn't care as long as he gets what he wants. Because, look, as much as I would love my crush to call me and be like, hey, do you want to hang out? If my cat, died, especially from that, my dog or something, I would be like, I would
You
love
could
to,
not
but
drag
no.
me out of my house.
No.
If that happened.
No, you could.
No.
Yeah. You could not get me to leave. I'd be like, no, I and just brief tangent. I've talked. I don't know if I've talked on the podcast about this before, but you know the story about how I lost my cat a few
Mm.
years ago, and I was my partner at the time. We were trying to watch Megamind. We were eating Starbucks breakfast sandwiches and enjoying the morning. And then I get a phone call from my mom saying that my cat had passed a stroke. And I hung up the phone and I just bawled my eyes out, and I was being held for a few minutes. I knew I would be sad, but just how much was coming out was a little surprising for me. And so we even tried watching the movie, but it was like, I just don't have it in me. This doesn't feel right. I think I just need to go home.
No,
And so,
I'm right there with you.
yeah, I tried seeing if I could move past it, but I couldn't. I couldn't. And so we went home. We did watch TV, but everyone was just home, solemn, sadly eating pizza, and just we were all feeling it. So I was just like, I can't do this. This cat means too much to me, which I
Mm.
guess means that the cat didn't really mean much to Bear.
No, I mean my when my dog passed, also named Sandy. Uh, I I did not leave that house that day, other than going to the vet for what happened. But like, no, I I I can't imagine. First off, not telling your friends about that situation when they're trying to get you out to trivia, and two, I can't imagine. At that point, I'm just hanging up the phone. No, I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
not going out.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. And so, they hang out, they're getting along, everyone's having fun. In fact, also another thing, Nikki lost her, like, crystal
yes,
necklace. And
on the phone when
so,
she was trying to get Bear to go to trivia, she had mentioned that. Didn't she like say dropped it down the drain or something?
yeah, yeah. And so, he tries to find her a new one, which is sweet.
Yeah,
She didn't ask him, and so he did. I was like, okay, that's sweet.
which
And
sometimes the
so,
gifts can be a little weird, but
yeah, I mean,
as long as it's coming from a you don't expect anything from return kind of thing, then
yeah,
it's fine.
yeah. And so, I mean, that also depends how long they've been friends.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
If they just met each other and you're getting people gifts like, oh, I heard your
yeah,
necklace got lost. That's
yeah.
fucking freaky.
If it's been 5+ years, that makes sense. At least to me, it does.
Yeah,
Dude, if you lost something, I would buy it for you the next day. You'd be like, I lost
same to you.
all. I lost my Luke Skywalker figure, and I'd be like, I'll buy you 10. Um, and so
Dark
I
Empire, please.
we'll recreate it together in honor of your lost toy. Um, but so yeah, and so he finds it, but he also finds the One Wish Willow, which is
Mm.
like, make a wish, and he's like, oh, this could be good for her too, maybe. It's a little weird, but maybe she'll like it.
Did he
And
find the
he never.
necklace too?
I don't.
No, I don't think he got the necklace. He found something and he's like, "Oh, she would hate this." And then he
Yeah,
finds the one
yeah,
wish low, so he just gets that instead.
yeah, yeah, which I'm like, that would have just been better had you gotten the necklace.
Or just don't get anything at all at that point. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I'm like, you should just be home grieving your cat.
Hmm.
That's what I would be doing.
Yeah.
Um, and so he goes out, and they're like, hey, mind just take me home? He's like, yeah, sure, I can do that for you. Takes her home. They have kind of a nice conversation in the car. Uh, you know, Pulls up to her
Mm.
house. Yeah, I don't remember the conversation very well, but I remember it's like it's semi pleasant but a little awkward.
Very awkward. I remember it being like, especially towards the end there, like, Bear, if you like me, just say, now's your time. Do you like me or not? And he's
Well,
trying to, like,
I was saying
inch into. Oh,
I
gotcha.
was saying up until he gets to the house. The conversation is pleasant, and then he pulls up to the house, and then it gets really awkward. But so yeah, she asks him the question, "Do you like me?" And he doesn't give
Obviously
an
very
answer.
annoyed because he how it got started is because he called her Freaky Nikki,
Hmm.
which is the nickname she had in high school, which she did not like whatsoever, and Ian
Hmm.
was the one that told him to call her that. Very
Hmm.
savagey,
Yeah,
negging
yeah,
behavior, fucking redditor.
yeah. And so, she walks away, and then the wish that he was supposed to give to her, he does it for himself. I wish Nikki loved me more than anything in the whole fucking world. Snaps! Like the freaking stick with hair in Weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if there's any parallels there.
If I remember,
Um,
no. Were they both widow branches? Willow branches?
I don't remember. But so what? But so you know, makes the wish, and then she stops, and she just like stands there in the darkness, and it looks really creepy. It reminds me of the woman in Lights Out,
Mm,
like standing in the
yeah.
darkness with the silhouette. It always freaks me out. Um, and then she goes back up, and she's like, "Oh, hey, you haven't left. Hey, you want to chat more?" And then she's like, "Wait, what am I doing?" And then leaves, and
She's
you know,
snapping back and forth between, regular Nikki and this, like, new Nikki.
possessed Nikki. Yeah, which I feel like I would not have picked up on at first had you not told me what the wish was like. I think I would have eventually picked up on it. I just would have been confused. And but yeah, knowing that I'm like, oh, I see it very clearly here.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think the wishes are done so well in this movie because it's like I mentioned the monkey paw
Hmm.
in the beginning of this, like, but it's not be careful how you wish it. It's be careful what you wish for because throughout the movie you see the wishes aren't like you have to word it a specific way kind of thing. No, just be careful what you wish for, and um the wish that Bear makes, you know, if you're wishing to change someone, you're not erasing the prior person. You're creating a new personality person in there. And so it's
Hmm.
Nikki fighting control for the body, essentially.
Yeah, and I'll give. This is the only thing I'll give Bear is that he did not think that would work. He just
Mm-hmm.
thought it was just some sort of like
Tchotchke.
universe. Yeah, a tchotchke, exactly. Like maybe the universe will believe in me or whatever. And you know, I think it's fair to say we've all had that wish of like, I wish this person liked me, or I wish this would happen, or this would happen. But I think we never really thought of what would happen
No, it's the difference
with
between
that.
wishing this person would like me naturally or making this person like me, which hopefully no one is wishing for. No,
Yeah,
do not force people
yeah,
to like you.
yeah. Which I don't think it came from that. Do you think it came from that perspective of he wanted that force in that moment, or do you think it was like it just ended up being that way, and he's like, "Oh, cool. I don't care how it happened. It happened."
I don't think he was necessarily wishing for a new personality to appear, like a different version of Nikki, but
Hmm.
he was wishing for a version of Nikki that didn't exist, and he's changing this person throughout the movie, you see he does not give two shits that he has put Nikki in this atrocious, awful situation. And, you know, he even later on during some, trigger warning, but rape scenes,
Yeah.
he does not care. I mean, even later when there's this. Well, I'll wait to get to it because we'll dive a little bit more into the horror, more of the horror of the movie. But like, there's a point in time where he's posed a question, and he just ignores it, and he's just like, "What's so wrong about being with me?" You know, it's like all you can see is yourself.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
I know. And I think, because at first I think when you realize, oh, you don't care, it shows up sooner in the movie where, like, they're at the dinner and he figures out, oh, all this stuff isn't true. That would be my wake-up call at that dinner of being like, oh, I messed up. Oh, this is... But he still knows it. He knows the wish worked and that it's doing this thing. And he's like, I'm still gonna do it anyway. If I found out that I was doing this thing against the person against their will, and I didn't realize that, I'd be so disgusted with myself. I'd be like, oh my god.
I would say that would
didn't-
definitely be the like final nail in the coffin of like, you know, this is your last chance to, you know, do the right thing. But he just keeps on going. But there's like moments throughout the movie, like even the night where it happened, he had the chance to, you know, recognize the situation where either, you know, even later, he thinks she took something and she admits to it falsely. Like Molly or ecstasy or something. And it's just very obviously not true. And he didn't care about her well-being. Even when they go back to his place and they're like making out and stuff, she freaks out. His first response is, you wanted this, not, you know, I'm sorry, or, you know, like shutting everything down. It's him going into fence mode, and it's disgusting.
Yeah. My reaction would be, oh, why is she upset? Be like, yeah, maybe this wasn't a good idea. Like, I would be like, no, if you jumped up and went, what the fuck? I think that would be my cue of like, yeah, this isn't a good idea. We shouldn't do this.
No.
Like, especially with, like, you know, even though it turns out the whole thing about her, even though the whole thing with her dad was a lie, I would not in that moment have done that. I've been like, I'll stay here with you for the night, but I'm gonna be in the other room.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be in the other room.
Even with that situation, it was moving so fast that, like, if I was in that situation, I'm just like, all right, you take the bed, I'll be on the couch. If you need anything, let me know. Also, important comment, little PSA here while we're talking about these very important and difficult topics. We just want to say, we as Zach and Lex talks about stuff podcast, consent is very important. If you don't believe in consent, I don't know what to say. Shall we say it together? Get consent or get fucked.
Or get fucked.
Fuck yeah!
Woo! Yeah, baby!
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah!
Is it next that they go to work together?
Yes, that's when they go to work together, and they're noticing like how, and everybody's noticing like how clingy they are together, and they're like, huh.
Especially seeing she had literally just in front of everyone the night prior said that Bear was like her little brother, you know?
That's right. I forgot she said that. Oh my god.
Which there's an allegory to Hansel and Gretel later that we'll talk about later, but brother and sister kind of relationship.
Oh, I never read Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, she reads Hansel and Gretel later in the story, like not Hansel and Gretel, but like we'll talk about it. But that scene where Bear and Ian are talking in the back, and the entire time you can just see Nikki in the corner staring them down. This movie is master of making you uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It almost reminds me of what Kurt Cobain was trying to do with Polly, where it's designed to make the listener very uncomfortable. You're not, the song's played out of tune on a broken guitar from the perspective of I believe in that rapist would be the term, but
Yeah. And so there's just a lot of like she's just staring at the direction he's in, and he's like, this is odd, but I'll take it. And Ian's like, this is very weird, and Sarah's like, this is very weird, and everything's going fine. They're hunky dory, everything like that, and then
there's that montage afterwards of like them going through like daily life doing couple stuff together, and it's slowly changing to like creepy behavior.
Yeah.
And then like Ian and Sarah are like saying conflicting things, where Ian's saying that Bear is taking advantage of Nikki, which is true, and then Sarah doesn't seem as concerned about Nikki, and saying that she thinks that Nikki's taking advantage of Bear, which throughout the movie you find out that Sarah has a crush on Bear and liked him the whole time, but Bear was so oblivious to the situation, a fucking idiot, that he didn't notice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, which I guess since she knew the history of like Ian and Nikki, so I guess I could see where Sarah's coming from, but I'm like, but I don't know. I would be more worried if I were Sarah. I would have been more worried about like the stuff Ian was saying about Nikki to Bear. That's the stuff I would have been more concerned about. I would have been like, I mean, Nikki's cool, but you're also taking advice from Ian. Like, did you know that they were banging on and off for a couple of years?
That, like, and when my friend starts acting off, acting weird, and they're in a new that's a big old red flag. As someone who is in a really bad relationship, there's signs that people pick up on immediately, and if you're spending like day to day, time with those people, it's a very obvious shift.
Yeah, get the slightest thing, because had they been friends for like 5+ years and then they see this odd behavior, I'd be like, is Nikki okay? I'm a little concerned. I mean, I know you're her boyfriend. I'm sure you've noticed too, hopefully. But maybe we should sit down and talk with her, something. I mean, I guess I can't remember. Yes, something. Because especially since she made up that whole story about like her dad, which they fact checked later and realized, oh, that's not true. He doesn't even live here. He lives all the way in another state, and she hasn't talked to him in like years. So it's.
Oh no! It was like the fact that like that is the case, but she was claiming that they got back in contact because he got cancer, and then turns out that he does not have cancer, and they still haven't talked.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, all of these red flags. If I found out if you were, like, talking about these scenarios that were not real and, you know, and these things happened, I would be like, hey, what's going on? I hear one thing, but then something else is true. What's going on? Like, I would be a little concerned. I'd be like, is something happening? And it's just,
You can tell me if something is going on.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I would not immediately think it's something with Bear. I would immediately think, oh, it's just something outside of Bear, but they're together, and maybe her being with Bear is like a side effect of something else going on. And
Well, I mean,
I
since Bear told the other two that
like
she got back in contact,
on that night,
it's crazy to think that neither of them, you know,
like knew or
no, like just talk to her about it. Like, you know, if you find out your friend's, you know, absent father has cancer and they recently got back in contact, you know, I'd be like, hey, just checking in. How you doing? Okay? You know, it's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was very little concern from everyone else. That's why it's such a weird friend group. I'm
Well,
guessing
it's very toxic. Very toxic.
I'm guessing they're only together because of proximity.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it gives me the sense that they wouldn't be friends if they weren't working together. That's why Bear is so upset in the beginning that Nikki's moving jobs, is because he you know, they don't. I'm getting the sense that they don't hang out enough outside of work to actually, you know, keep the friendship going. They're only hanging out because they work together, you know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. And you know, especially as time goes on, you realize what a coward Bear is.
Oh yeah, I mean, like that. At the same time, too, like sticking out the weird situations for no reason, like moving forward in the story. There's like some pretty freaky scenes where, you know, like Bear wakes up to an empty bed, and he looks in the corner, and there's this uncanny face makeup that the actress that played Nikki was wearing. Anytime you see Nikki in the shadow, it's very obviously not Nikki speaking. And the lighting is very well done in this movie to shadow that. But you can see Nikki standing in the corner of the dark room, and he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm watching you sleep. And he's like, come back to bed. I can't sleep. Why? I don't like my dreams. That line freaked me the fuck out in the theater. That was my I don't like that. And there's these moments where like the two people inside the body are fighting for control, and they do these like technical tricks with like slowing down, reversing footage, stuff like that, where she's walking around hiding her face, almost walking backwards, and like it almost reminds me of a puppet who, you know, where you're trying to control the body, but it's not
like a marionette.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Marionette's trying to control the body, which I mean speaks to, you know, controlling her, not being herself. There's other scenes where what is it? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay, it's gone.
Like,
but
I mean, there's a lot of scenes where she is standing in the dark, and we don't even see her face. We just see her silhouette, and it's this
Mhm.
thing of like it's this treating it very ominous, and
I mean, even when she came by to apologize, quote unquote, for the night prior because she was on, Molly or ecstasy, you didn't see her face the entire time. She was just completely in the dark,
yeah,
and that was just brilliantly done.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Almost the Nikki's completely gone in that moment.
yeah. Like this is not her. This is an imitation.
Mm-hmm. It's alternate.
Yeah. And so, uh, I know we're jumping around a little bit. With
Yeah,
this.
we apologize. Apologies
Yeah,
to the
so-
viewers for our very scattered description of this movie. But here, I'll do a synopsis for the rest. So after some very unsettling and uncomfortable situations where uh, Nikki's acting strange. Because
duct taping the wall, feeding the cat to him.
yeah, one of the things on the date, Bearhead couldn't even answer a question honestly. Nikki had asked, "What do you want to do for a job?" Obviously, you don't want to stay at the music store for the rest of your life, and he said he can't answer honestly. He just answers with something that comes first to his mind is food critic because they're eating dinner, and he can't even give a solid answer of why he wants to do that or what the job would be, and so there's multiple instances of the cat being brought up after it's passed, where Nikki, the morning after she stayed over the first time, was she made a shrine of the dead cat on the kitchen floor, and she also made lunch for Bear.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing you can. I imagine you can guess what was in the sandwich. And in that lunch, she includes a picture of Bear that says you, and a picture of her, and it says not me.
Yeah.
And then there's a little sticky note on the sandwich that says, what is it? Critics thoughts or something like that. Thoughts on cat. And like when that scene popped up, my stomach dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
Nikki's.
That thought crossed my mind of like, is he eating the cat? And then when it was revealed it was true, it was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
I hate that I had that gut feeling. It's like when I watched Old Boy and I realized the girl was his daughter. And I'm like, oh no, I hated that I was right. But so yeah, that happens. She goes home. She's a mess. She was like messing herself. What do you think the her peeing like stood for? Do you think that was a sign of help? Do you think that was her just choosing to like stay still? It's like, I'm not leaving the spot till he gets home. Or do you think it was like real Nikki's cry for help?
I think there's
what's
a
your
bunch
interpretation of
there.
that?
But right before that, Bear is going to lunch. He confronts Nikki about the cat food or the cat sandwich. And she, waves it off, like it was nothing, and then freaks out about him going to work. And he turns around and the door has been completely duct taped shut. So he pries it open. She's standing there on the corner of the rug, smiling as he leaves, and she just does not move. She starts going to the bathroom, and later you see that she had been throwing up. She had, everything. And I think it's a sign of, almost, well, first off, not having control of her body. She's stuck in that one place. Smarter people than I would be recognizing more things, but I believe it also has something to do with the trauma and assault that she's going through this, because like we won't go into detail too much, but previously in the movie there was a scene that very obviously depicted rape, and there's some stuff going on, and I think a lot of that afterwards has to do with nodding to what's been going on. So I think that might have something to do with it. Do you have any other ideas about what it could represent, symbolize?
I mean, my first thought was like, I'm not going anywhere until he comes back, and that's why she's like messing herself. Like, I'm gonna stand here right at the door waiting for him, as like she's so obsessed with him that she's doing that, and but also someone and by the way, assault survivors have talked about it, saying like it relates to how the people in the past have done that themselves to repel others, as I don't, stay away, leave me be, and I do not have information regarding sexual assault, so I cannot speak on a lot of it. I from what I have read upon and heard from others, I can speak on, but maybe not every little detail.
I'm not going to pretend I'm knowledgeable or by any means smart enough to know all the symbolisms behind it, but I know there's got to be more to it other than I know there is an official answer that like she doesn't have control of her body. It's in stasis, that essentially she has no movement, so she just loses absolutely all control of her bodily functions at that moment, because it's like your body isn't yours. But I imagine there's more to it than that.
Yeah, more parallels that can be drawn from people who know more, and obviously we are talking about it and and getting into some nuances, but I would like to phrase that obviously there are things that I do not know. Some things I do know, some things I don't know. So that's why you will not see me personally delve too long into some of those, because I don't have the information, and I'm not the right person to ask for some of these things. So that's why, if you're like, why didn't you talk about this a little longer? It's because I don't know enough to talk about it longer.
Yes, and when what we have talked about, it's not our intention to be insensitive by any means. We're not pretending to be knowledgeable about this stuff. It's merely just speculation, and we can't imagine what the horrors of those kinds of situations involve. So merely just trying to better understand it.
Yes,
the scene.
That like Zach said, exactly. But yeah, so they go through everything, and then there's the party scene.
Oh,
where at first she doesn't. Where they're like, if she really if you two are really okay with each other, then you'll go, and you won't bring her.
Yeah, because
And
Ian's
then,
hosting a party and hasn't mentioned anything, and then he's like,
Mhm.
"Well, I'm not gonna mention it to you because I know you both are going to come, and it's gonna weird people out." And like you said, if your relationship's healthy, then you'll be able to take one night separate from each other.
Mhm.
And when he mentions that to Nikki at the apartment, she goes into the bathroom to clean up,
Mhm.
and he mentions it through talking through the door, and then that water turn off is just like, ooh, the door
Yeah.
starts slamming, things start breaking, and then he relents. Both go to the party, and you can just see on everyone's faces how uncomfortable they are.
Mhm. Yeah. And, they do the... What was that game that they were playing?
Jenga.
Jenga, but there was also that card game of pick up the card, read it, and...
Oh, it related to the Jenga brick that they picked up. I think they were reading the
Oh.
bricks themselves. Essentially, it was more an drinking game version of Jenga where either you have to do whatever the brick says or you have to take a drink. And so when they're playing that at the party, it's Bear's turn, and he picks up a brick, and it says "kiss the person to your left," and Sarah is to his left. Nikki immediately is upset about that, stands up, drags the chair separate, and then waits for her kiss from Bear. And, I didn't think about this until I left the theater. I saw someone mention it online. Bear's an asshole, not just because of the whole situation throughout this entire movie, but I didn't think about it, but Bear didn't need to... If you don't want to do what's on the Jenga brick, just take a drink. He didn't need to read that out. He wanted that to happen.
I'd be like, if I got that and I looked at the person to my left and it wasn't my girlfriend, I'd be like, well, I know what happens next. On to the next. And by the way, just talk about this briefly, and then we'll continue onward about her the poem that she wrote.
So Hansel and Gretel, she reads this incestuous, messed up version of Hansel and Gretel that she's been working on, because she's a writer, and she was in the beginning of the movie on the car drive to Nikki's house when Bear makes the wish. Nikki was talking about wanting to leave the job because she needed to experience more to be a better writer. Needed to experience more of the world, experience love, and there's this interesting comment that she's writing a romance novel. And I think I might be butchering this, but Bear makes a comment like, "Isn't that a love story?" And it's not the same thing. And so, what's it called? I guess she worked more on that love story, and it was Hansel and Gretel. And she's talking about this incestuous relationship between Hansel and Gretel, brother and sister, which harkens back to the very sibling relationship she saw between her and Bear, where friend zoning him as little brother, and so it's this obsessive, incestuous view of Hansel having relations with Gretel. And essentially, I might be butchering this because I saw this movie like a month ago, but something along the lines of not stopping, or you have to stay within me, stuff like that. It's very disturbing stuff, and she's just reading this out to the whole party. And then she snaps, between Nikki and fake Nikki, and
Yeah.
grabs a bottle, smashes it, and then starts aggressively stabbing her face with the broken bottle. Everyone's freaking out at the party.
And she's screaming, "It's not me! It's not
Mhm.
me!" And then she gets back into like, "Oh, that was crazy."
And just smiling it
And-
off like...
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But by the way, two things. So one, with the Hansel and Gretel story and the incestuousness of it and how it relates to the I view him as a brother. I hadn't picked up on that until you just brought that up. That's really interesting, huh? I need to rewatch that movie now.
As soon as
When
it
I-
comes
when I-
out on Blu-ray, I'm buying it.
Yeah, I'm not
because
buying it digital.
the case looks beautiful. I
Mhm.
want to own this movie forever. Fuck you, Sony.
Mhm.
And I want my money going towards the creator, not the streaming service that would be holding it.
Yeah. So there's that, and one thing that I want to talk about is the humor of the movie.
Mm.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about this before the show, and if need be, we can cut some parts out of this if we don't like how it comes out. But so it's regarding the humor of the movie, and so some of the humor does feel like it comes from "That's a Bad Idea" sketch show.
Yeah, it feels very like
it's-
Tim and Eric. I mean, not Tim and Eric. Sorry, Tim Robinson kind of
Mhm.
humor. Very dry, very off.
Very off, like
Offbeat.
Twists and turns in ways you didn't expect.
Mhm.
And I think the humor is done very well in this movie.
Incredibly.
So for
well, yeah.
for me, and there were people. I saw people watching. There were people on Threads talking about this. They're like, They're like the most disturbing part of that movie were the people that were laughing while watching the movie, and this is not a laughing matter. And I'll say this: if you're laughing at what's happening to Nikki, as in, haha, isn't it funny she's possessed and hurting herself? No, I don't think that's the funny
No,
thing.
that's not the humor, and whoever's laughing at that is not understanding the purpose of the movie.
Why I was laughing at it, it's just the way it's executed, I'd say, because I described it as a way of, like, breaking some tension, where it's like, no, we are taking this seriously, but also this is a ridiculous story. It's a very dark story, but it's also ridiculous in how it's done, because characters will also just like that.
That's why you have
In certain
ginger and
scenes.
wasabi. If you're getting all of it, just constant, just one kind of note stuff, then it's not as effective. What might be able to help anyone that might be missing? Can you give an example of the humor that you're talking about?
I think it's just like the parts where she is. I think it just has to do with that party where you see the scene where she is like
Oh, the
frowning. Yeah,
I can't frown.
I the reason why I laughed at that is because of just how exaggerated the face was. For me, it was nervous. Some of the movie was nervous laughter, and some of it was just shock laughter. Like, have you ever seen something that was so shocking that part of you kind of laughs?
No, but I've had like an
mean-
uncomfortable laugh, and that was me during the movie.
I think
it was a mix of
Let me rephrase
uncomfortable
that.
and
Uncomfortable laugh.
the timing worked well. Like, for example, I didn't laugh at the frown, but I laughed at the dragging the chair, the slow drag.
Yeah,
Because it went on a little too long. That it's a common trope in comedy movies. So part of you wants to laugh, but you're also uncomfortable in the situation too.
Yeah. Yeah, let me rephrase that, like nervous laughter.
Yeah.
Like, because I remember one of Curry Barker's sketches where it's like, talk about your body count. Everybody's gotta say it. Everybody's gotta say it. It's like 3. It's like, whoa, 3. That's crazy. And then someone says 11. Holy shit, dude. 11 bodies. That's your body count. That's crazy. It's not that crazy. Oh, it's not. Oh, thank God, dude. I thought I was the only one that's killed 3 people, and then the sketch ends. But we laugh at it because of how shocking it is, because we didn't... Not because it's funny he killed 3 people, it's funny that it's such a switch up. You're like, what the... Like, it's a reactionary, oh my God, what is this laugh, rather than a... haha, isn't the dark subject funny? Which
No, it's not filthy frank shock humor. It's
yes,
more Tim Robinson situational uncomfortable
Mhm.
humor.
Yeah, and that's the vibe I got from this movie. So for me, this wasn't a movie laughing at
No.
the most disturbing parts of the scene, because we'll get into a part that absolutely cracked me up in the movie at a moment where I was the most tense, and that's the wish thing with Ian. We'll talk about that later. But,
Yeah.
But so we. Oh,
To-
sorry. You want to say something?
To keep going from the story, they leave the party, and I can't remember the specific order of things, but I know Bear calls the hotline on the back of the One Wish Willow box, and
Yeah.
it's Curry Barker, the director who
Mhm.
voices the call center guy, and the guy is just like, I don't know, like, you want to undo your wish, and they go through this whole process of like, well, you'd have to submit a form, blah blah blah. All right, so can I undo my wish? No, it doesn't work like that. And it's kind of like comedic, like you said, until it gets to the, do you want to talk to her? And then he puts her on the phone, and it's just screaming.
Yeah,
It's
that
Nikki
freaked me.
That was terrifyingly disturbing.
Yeah.
And then so that's when Bear, obviously he's not smart enough to have put it together beforehand, and he needed this, like, this answer right in front of him. And he still keeps, doing this awful shit. Like, after that, I think they're in bed. Oh, and to preface this, we didn't talk about it before, but Sarah, her dad owns the music store that they all work at, and she has
played by
applied...
Andy Richter.
Mm-hmm. And she's been applying for multiple different colleges for, art and design, because she wants to be a tattoo artist and stuff. But she keeps getting rejected, and she's got one more left. And so Bear and Nikki are in bed. Bear gets a text from Sarah asking to meet at the park. Bear's initially like, no, I can't do it, like dodging it, and then she's like, if you don't come here, I'm coming there. So he relents. He gets up, and when he's about to leave, he hears Nikki say Bear, and this part was also fucking freaky. He's I forget what he asks, but essentially Nikki says that the fake Nikki is asleep. It's the real Nikki awake. Don't be too loud, you're gonna wake her up. And then she begs him to kill her. And how he responds is it really that bad being with me? And he leaves as she's saying, please, please, Bear. And it's just heart-wrenchingly awful. It's just it's painful. And so he leaves. Sorry,
not even a, I'll figure this out, Nikki. I'll see if I can find a way to save you.
not even a sign of guilt.
not even a sign
Just
of
coward.
guilt. Yes, he wants her so bad that when she's like, please let me go, he's like, no. I'm like, dude, she's suffering. She is telling you she's suffering, and you're doing nothing. And I'm like, you're such a fucking asshole. Oh my god. By the way, hats off to I believe the actor's name is Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson. I couldn't remember if it was Mike Johnson or Michael Johnson. Sounds like a politician.
Yeah.
It's hats off to him because I fucking hated him in this movie. Like, wow, you are awful. You are everything I don't want to be in a person.
It takes
Like-
a skilled actor to play that level of douchebag, piece of shit, scum of the earth. And shout out to the actress who played Nikki, because oh my god, the amount of the level of acting that she had to do for the playing two people in one body, switching back and forth and doing this like uncanny, creepy. It takes a level of extreme acting skill to be able to do that.
Yeah, Indy Navarrete is her
Yes.
name. I've been trying to pronounce her name, but
I remember
she's fantastic.
that's another thing. When we went to see the movie, my girlfriend and I was like, "Is that? Was she in Superman and Lois?"
Yeah, she played Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's another Sarah in the movie, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, Sarah and Bear meet up in the car. You know, and she's like, I got my letter. And she even asks, because also the weird thing is she's more concerned about Bear than she is Nikki. On the one hand, I see where she's coming from, because she's like, Nikki's snuck around with Ian and they have a thing, so I just don't want you to get hurt. So implying that it's like, I don't fully trust this whole relationship you guys are doing. So I can see that from that perspective.
And she's got the rose-colored glasses because she likes Bear.
Yeah, but on the other, it's also like, dude, like,
can't notice that your friend
like
is...
Yeah, she's like hitting herself, and she's doing all
You're
this
not
thing. She
texting
pulled
Nikki
you
like,
away.
"Hey, are you okay? Do you need me to bring to the ER? Do you need a safe space? You know, like,
Do you need 911? Do you need the Black Ops or the Justice League? What are we doing here?
I can't imagine Nikki was really responding to any phone calls either, though.
That's actually interesting. I'm surprised they never tried something like that in the movie, where like Bear looks at her phone and sees like the thousands of like phone calls, emails, and texts that are
Ignored.
unresponded to. That would have been. I wonder if Curry Barker thought of that and maybe they deleted it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think there's an extended edition supposed to be coming out, and I know when the Blu-ray comes out, I think whatever is above R is supposed to come out, because a specific scene that's coming up with them being in the car. And are you there?
Hey, dude, you good? You cut out.
Hello?
Oh, there you are. Sorry, could you say that one more time? You cut out, like extended.
Oh no, you
R.
like completely froze for me.
Oh yeah. So anyway, you're saying above R.
Oh, it's supposed to be above R because of a scene that is coming up in our discussion. Essentially, they're in the car, and Sarah wants Bear to open the letter, and then they start talking about, it's made obvious that Sarah likes Bear, and she makes
she
the
could
comment.
do so much better.
Yeah. And so she makes a comment, I was the one to your left, and as she clarifies that, the window breaks Nikki smashes the window with a brick, puts the brick on the steering wheel, and smashes Sarah's head in with the brick on the steering wheel over and over and over. And Bear is just sitting there like a coward in the corner, almost, in shock and tears. And I believe it's supposed to be above R or unrated, because they cut it out for the theatrical release, but there was gurgling sounds after that where it's made obvious that she's alive and choking on her own blood. Yeah, it's so then Nikki says, "I'm sorry you had to see that, but you caused that, didn't you? I'm going to take care of this. You go back home and I'm going to bury her." And so Bear freaks out. He's crying like a baby that he is. And then he freaks out, goes to the One Wish Willow store, and tries to get another one. But can't find him initially, and then runs into the clerk. The clerk's like, "What did you do?" And he's like, "I fucked up the wish real bad." Everyone in the audience is like, "No fucking shit."
Yeah.
The clerk is basically saying, there's no going back. You know what has to be done to end it, which is hinted on the phone call. The only way the wish will break is if it is unwished by someone else, or the subject of the wish is no longer around, meaning Bear would have to die for Nikki to go back to normal.
Yeah.
And so he gets another One Wish Willow because he's a coward. I'm going to end every statement with "because he's a coward," because he is.
Yeah.
And he goes to Ian to explain the situation. Turns out Ian's getting messages from Sarah's phone saying to come meet Sarah at Nikki and Bear's apartment.
But before we get into Ian with the wish, Bear opens the letter, and it says that Sarah got accepted.
Sarah got in. Yeah.
And I did say, and I was in the theater, and I said, obviously not aloud, otherwise I'd get kicked out, but I'm like, "You did this. Sarah had a future as an artist, and you did this. You did that. She is dead because of you."
As soon as I knew that they were getting together to open that one last letter, I knew what was going to happen. And as soon as they set up that frame where you can see a bit of the window past Sarah, I'm like, I know what they're setting up for. I'm just waiting for it to happen, waiting for the shoe to drop.
I was surprised how fast that happened.
Yeah.
Bear is like, "Make the wish, Ian, please. Just
unwish it. Please say I wish." What was it? Bear's wish never came true, or
Yeah. Like, undo my wish, and Ian's like, "This is stupid. It doesn't make sense."
Doesn't believe it.
Yeah, like, why is Sarah not responding? What's going on with Nikki? What are you doing there? Like, all this shit. And he makes the wish of, "I wish I had $1 billion.
Let's rephrase that. I wish I had $1 billion.
Yeah, and then $1 billion rains from the sky. And when that happened, I laughed so fucking hard in the theater. That was the moment in the movie for me where I was like, okay, this is a Curry Barker sketch. Because I was laughing so fucking hard.
And sad at the same time. Like, you know what he's automatically going to wish for, because, a good chunk of people would wish for the same thing. And he's not going to believe him, throwaway wish. Bear's just collapsing on the floor because he knows that option is out the window. But again, he's also a coward there because he didn't bother to like, oh, you know, let's go to another person, like just pay someone $10 to
Yeah.
make a wish on the street. Go get another fucking One Wish Willow. Make the wish on the
Right.
street, you know?
I was about to be like, why didn't you get another one? Apparently there was a bunch in that bowl.
If someone walked up to me on the street and he's like, here's $20, can you just say, I wish Bear's wish never came true, and snap the one, it's $20. I'll do it.
So sure, and then yeah,
Especially
yeah,
them
I
thinking it's
know.
just some tchotchke, wishbone kind of thing.
Yeah, and you walked away with $20. I know, but I will say, like, the way it was shot and framed and the timing of the $1 billion falling, I was laughing my ass off because
And it doesn't help
felt
that
very
Ian's
much.
like,
I know. It's just. It just in that moment it felt like a Curry Barker sketch. I was like, all right, here he is. Here's the guy. I'm loving the movie, but I missed this guy for a second.
no, that's
Then
the
again,
thing.
I
You
could
need
just
bits of relief, you know? If
Yeah,
it's
I cause
all waiting for the shoe to drop, it's just gonna get tired real quick.
yeah, exactly. 'Cause yeah, exactly. I needed that big moment of relief, and then Bear goes home, and
That's this is one of the also another dark part of the story.
Oh yeah,
He walks through that door, and videotapes of him sleeping is on the TV.
oh,
The apartment is completely trashed.
mm-hmm.
Sarah's dead body is taped to a chair in the corner.
I think it was naked too, and I was
Yeah,
like,
because
oh,
Nikki took the clothes and scalped her and was wearing her scalp and her clothes and gave herself random tattoos to make herself like Sarah so Bear would love her.
oh.
Yeah, and I guess, yeah, you all listening, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm pretty sure you can guess how this whole situation's going. It's not going well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nikki is asking why Bear doesn't love her, doesn't feel like it's mutual. Freaking out and saying, if you don't love me, I'm going to blow my head off and I'm going to blow your head off. She's got a gun that she stole from the music store. And then Ian comes over to the door. It's like, dude, you won't believe it. There's $1 billion, you know, like, and of course his first thing isn't, hey Bear, are you okay? Hey Nikki, are you okay? Or, oh my God,
Yeah.
if that's true, then what you're saying was true. He's just storming in about the money and then immediately gets shot by Nikki.
Yeah. Impeccable accuracy.
Uh-huh.
I was like, wow, that's good.
No scope like the actress's COD COD playthroughs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and how does it lead up to Bear going into the bathroom? Like, does he like
I
just
think
say
he
he has got to
calms
go to
her
the bathroom?
down.
Yeah.
I think he calms her down first and then says he has to go to the bathroom. I think she's like, okay, then we'll do something later. It's like, cool.
Yeah.
And he takes the gun and he goes into the bathroom and he locks the door and she picks up on it and she's trying to get
immediately
in.
knocking on the door and she notices the gun's
Yeah.
gone, and then
Yeah.
he's trying to put an end to it, but he's too much of a
Yeah.
coward to use the gun, so he takes the medicine that his cat died on, so
Yeah.
he starts swallowing a bunch of pills.
Yeah.
And then he realizes a One Wish Willow that he bought is left in the living room that he was going to try and have Nikki use. And as he's going to throw up the pills, he's too late, and you hear the box jingle play and Bear's demeanor changes, and you can tell what Nikki wished for, and he walks out. And they have this like Bonnie and Clyde messed up staring at each other kind of like oogling scene, and then Bear starts dying.
Yeah. I interpreted that as Bear couldn't kill himself. He was like, you know what? I can make this work. That was my interpretation of it, of like, I can make this work.
No, I saw it as he was too much of a coward to
Yeah.
do anything like use the gun, and he wanted something less messy, so he took the pills, and then even that he
Yeah.
cowered out. He
Yeah,
didn't
no,
care
he
about the
cowered out.
situation. He just didn't want to die because he doesn't
Yeah.
care what happens to other people, but he cares about what happens to him.
Yeah, so that's why I interpreted it as, oh, I could, okay, so Nikki killed these people and, you know, all this stuff. I can make this work. That's how I interpreted it, as, like, he's just gonna go back to her because he would rather do this than die because he's such a fucking coward and make her continue to suffer. So that was my interpretation of that, of, like, after everything, dude, you're going back to her. What a fucking loser you are. And then he dies. She's crying. She's like crying her eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
He like dies.
He ODs
And,
on
you know,
the medication like his cat.
Yeah. And we see that the wish willow was snapped, heavily implying that it was real Nikki making the wish.
Oh no!
So she
like,
did get her wish after all.
well, no, it was fake Nikki wishing for Bear to love her, and so that's what made him leave the bathroom, because you could hear the jingle and then the snap, and then he stops trying to throw up, which leads to him ODing. So he leaves the bathroom. He's not choosing that. He got the one wish Willow wished on him.
Oh, I thought my interpretation of it was that real Nikki was in control for a moment and wished for Bear to die. That's what
No.
I thought.
No,
And
no.
that way it's like, oh, Nikki got her wish after all. That's how I interpreted it.
No. You can hear the jingle play as he's in the bathroom, and then you hear a snap, and he stops trying to get himself to throw up. So he leaves the bathroom because she now has wished for him to love her as much. They're having that like Bonnie and Clyde, I love you kind of stare, and then he starts ODing. She's freaking out. He dies, and then when he dies, the wish he made breaks. So now Nikki snaps back into it, and all of a sudden is just in a room with 3 dead people. You know, everything that happened. And she just starts screaming.
Yeah.
And as the credits, the camera pans down from her across the floor and back onto the TV to show the credits. And
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
god. And all you hear through the credits is her screaming
just-
and crying.
Yeah.
With hold me, kiss
I know. Yeah. I as soon as the credits started rolling, I wanted to get out of there as much as possible because I was like, I can't. I'll admit, because I saw the back rooms the day prior, and when I saw Obsession, I was like, well, I can't believe I'm going to say this. The back rooms is now a comfort movie compared to this.
I like the back rooms, but I think this movie was a little
somehow
more solid.
I felt like I walked away more uncomfortable than I had already done with the Backrooms movie, and I was uncomfortable with the ending of the Backrooms movie. But I was even more uncomfortable with the ending of Obsession. It wasn't a bad ending; it's a very good ending, and it's well deserved because Bear is fucking evil.
Do you know about the original ending?
Yeah, that it was not. That they were like, no, we want Bear to be more of a hero, and Curry Barker was like, no, I don't want that. I need him to be the bad guy.
That's another thing. The studio tried to pay Curry Barker off to have Bear more of a hero in the end, but he's like, no, Bear's a piece of shit. The original ending was Sarah was supposed to kill, not Sarah, Nikki was supposed to kill herself too.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, all right, it's probably not making it into the movie, but let's just do one more take just because we can. wake up right before you pull the trigger. And that's the take they kept for the movie. They switched the movie ending because her acting was so phenomenal in that improvised scene.
Yeah, so Nikki's life is fucking over.
Oh yeah, yeah. And they rumored that in the next movie with Aaron Paul, where they're ghost hunters and stuff, that there's going to be something about, you know, a young woman going to prison responsible for the death of 3 young adults, and they're rumoring that's Nikki.
Yeah. So, yeah, this movie is really good. It delves into a lot of really dark themes, and I think handles it very well. And I can understand why some people wouldn't want to go see this movie because of, like, you know, trigger warning, and also because there's people that just don't like horror, and it's like fair, valid. I'm not gonna give you a hard time about it. But I think what surprised me is how much people were talking about it.
Yeah, yeah. It immediately caught on. We've talked about this, obviously, trigger warnings for the movie. Go see it. Go see it. It's a fantastic film. From a film standpoint, the script is very tightly written. It's brilliantly color graded and lit. Yeah, lit.
Yeah.
It's overall an amazing film, and I heavily recommend going to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heavily recommend it too. Well acted, great story, fantastic premise, and shown a spotlight on these talented people. And I think that
And a lot of no-name people too.
Yeah, I think Curry Barker is going to have a lot more people talking to him. I think Indy Neverett is going to get more offers. I think Michael Johnson is going to get more offers. I think all of these actors are going to be talked about more. Like, this is a movie of the year. I don't know if it's my number 1 movie of the year, but I'd say top 5 so far from what I have seen.
For me, I'd say top 3, but I liked it a lot. But it's halfway through the year, so
yeah,
we'll see. I mean, we do have a. Oh wait, no, that's not this year. Is it next year that we're getting the werewolf movie by Robert Eggers?
I don't remember.
Let me look this up.
Hold on, let me look it up.
It is coming out 2026. December 25th.
Oh, cool!
It's a Christmas movie.
That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome.
So we shall see about it. I'm excited about that. I'm a sucker for Robert Eggers films and anything that has Goblin Man Willem Dafoe in it.
Who I've heard is a lovely person in real life.
Yes.
Yeah. Surprisingly a face you can trust, as far as I can tell. But yeah, please go and see it. Please support this movie. It's really good. It is worth the watch. Especially
Support
if you
your
are a
smaller
horror
creators.
fan. Yeah, there's, last year is when you, me, and Jack started being like, you know what? We see a lot of blockbusters. Why don't we check out smaller movies? Because sometimes that's where the better movies are.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with over the last 2 years, really how quality has dropped in these big blockbuster, huge trailer movies, and it's just an absolute shit pile that just plopped in front of us in the movie theater, and we're expected to say, yes, ma'am, thank you, may I have another?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can I have Mando and Grogu season 37, please?
Yeah. I mean, look, if you guys want to watch that, go ahead. We'll watch something else. But so, yeah, thank you all for listening to our review. And yeah, like so anything you want to say to our audience before we go, Zach?
Before we go, just the usual sign off statement. First off, love one another. 2, be kind to yourself. 3, leave the world a better place. And 4, the circus and bread is getting really repetitive. The circus is slop, mostly AI generated, and the bread is stale. I think it's time to really call out those in charge. So it's been for a while, and I think we really need to get on that. So yeah, just don't get fooled by the circus. Don't get fooled by stale bread. If you catch what I'm saying.
I perfectly get what you're saying. I think that's the best way we can end it. So, thank you all for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, and recommend. And let us know in the comments what you think.
Yeah.
So-
And give us your rating of the movie. We want to hear your thoughts too. So we'll catch you guys next time.
All right, bye.
Bye.